What's up, YouTube? My name is Whitney, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about my top 5 favorite books. I love reading books. I love getting lost in the books and just kind of like getting to read other people's stories. And so I just wanted to share with you guys my top 5 favorite books for July. Technically, kind of like July and August because it's August 15th, and I'm still currently reading one of these. But what I'll try to do is I will try to do the books by age appropriateness because some of them are just straight up for adults. All right, so the first book that we have is a book called Your Happiest You, and this is by American Girl. And I got this book because it's actually one of a series. If you can see, there's 2 other books here. And these 2 books are actually books that I got when I was a kid that my mom gave to me. And those are called The Care and Keeping of You, and it's a body book for girls. And my mom gave it to me when I was going through puberty, and I had no idea what that meant. And so I remember reading that when I was younger and just being absolutely educated on, all of becoming a woman and kind of understanding what that meant and why things were happening the way they were happening. And so I got this book recently within the past year, and it basically, I needed a pick me up. I was feeling kind of down, I was feeling kind of sad, and I wanted to read something that would help me to feel better. And so I got this book. And so basically, this book is just a book of different habits and things that you can do to make sure that you're staying in a positive mood and to make sure that you're like cultivating healthy relationships, not only with your family or like the guy, but like with your friends and, that relationship that you have with yourself. And so I picked it up in the store, and I remember thinking that it was the cutest thing ever. And it talks about kindness and, like what to do when you're just feeling angry, or just like how to deal with sadness, or even just like how to deal with like when you're just really really happy. It is a picture book, so it comes with different pictures, and it's just the cutest thing ever. So it's something that I think I'm always going to have on my shelf. Look at this girl, she's so happy. She's what made me buy this book. I wanted to be just like this girl, and I thought it was really cute. It's something that I don't think I read it quite like all the way through. I didn't read it straight through, but I skimmed over it, and the chapters that I did read were really helpful, and it's something that helped pull me out of a sad time. So I definitely recommend giving this to, even if you don't want to read it for yourself, I recommend it as maybe like a gift to like a 10-year-old or maybe like a 12-year-old or even an adult, because I'm an adult and I enjoyed this book and I thought this was really cool. So that's the first book. The second book that I have is called The Museum of Heartbreak, and this one is by Meg Letter. And basically, this is a coming of age story. It's about a girl who's in high school and she gets her heart broken, not only by a guy, but also like by people in her family and by her friends. And it's her story. Her name is Penelope Marks. And it's just a story of like how she overcame like heartbreak and how she dealt with it. And, it was her coming of age story. And I thought it had a really cute ending. Of course, she ends up picking somebody, whether that's herself or somebody else, or, just like, I just thought it was really, really cute. I thought it was a good read. I would definitely read it again. I remember finishing it and just being like really sad that it was over. So I thought this one was really, really cute. Like this one, The Museum of Heartbreak. All right, so the next book that we have is called The Night Circus, and this is by Erin Morgenstern, and this is actually a #1 national bestseller. And so this is a book about magic. If you look here, there is one magician, and then there's a woman magician, and his name is Marco, and her name is Celia. And I don't want to give too much away about this book because it does have a special ending. I wouldn't say a surprise. I guess it has a surprise ending, but it has a different ending than what I was expecting. And it's really, I guess you could kind of say it's a love story. It's more PG-13. There's not anything super naughty going on in this book, but it was just a really good read. And it's a book that my mom gave to me when I was going through a period where I needed to read a book and just kind of like escape from reality a little bit. And it's a book about 2 magicians, and they join a circus, and it's a guy and it's a girl, and you can kind of guess what happens next. Kind of, because the ending is definitely a surprise. So I like that one. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Very good book. Very, very good book. All right, so the next 2 books I have are definitely 100% adult books. One of them is a young adult book, but I would say that these are books that I would not give to my 10-year-old kid by any means if I had one. So the first one is a book that is in a series, and this one is called Rumble, and it's by Ellen Hopkins, and it's about this guy right here. His name's Matthew Turner, And basically, this one's a sad book. It's a book about a guy who lost his brother to suicide and just dealing with picking up his pieces and living his life after losing his brother. And, you know, dealing with relationships. And it's kind of a heavier book, but it's a book that I was able to connect to because I lost someone in that similar way. And so it was just interesting to see how somebody else would deal with an issue like that. And I thought it was really cool. And I think if Matthew was a real person, me and Matthew would be somewhere like making out, because Matthew was really, honestly, probably not, because Matthew made a couple of decisions in this book that I don't necessarily agree with. But I love Ellen Hopkins' book. She has a book called Crank. It's black and it has like something white on the cover. And I love all of her books. If you look here, it shows you all of the books that she has. Some of them are books that are like you read one and then the next one goes with the first one. But this is a book where it's just kind of like a standalone. It's its own story. This one's about Matthew. It's only about Matthew and what he's dealing with. But I liked it, and I thought that it was cute, and I thought that Matthew seemed like he'd be like a really cute guy. Like somebody, if I was in high school, I'd be into Matthew. I liked it. I liked the ending. It did have a happy ending. And I thought this one was really cute. I love Ellen Hopkins. I love all of her books, and I will definitely be reading these forever, forever, ever, ever. So the last book is a book called Home to You. And like I said, this is 2 books in one, so it's by 2 different authors. And as you can see, I've definitely read this one. The first book is by Robin Carr, and the first book is called Virgin River. And then the second book is called When Lightning Strikes by Brenda Novak. Now, the second book I'm still reading. I'm still reading it. I've only read like the first 2 or 3 chapters, and I'm already 100% in love with the 2 people who fall in love. I think they fall in love. I haven't read it, and I don't know if they like. I'm assuming because it's a romance book, and you know what happens in romance books. But anyways, we'll talk about the first one. So the first one is about a widow named Melinda Monroe. She has such a pretty name. And basically, Melinda Monroe is a nurse practitioner, or a midwife, and that's somebody who deals with and helps pregnant women deliver their babies, and you know, all the way up until that point. So basically, Melinda is this city girl, and she's a city doctor, and she loses her husband, and so she decides she's going to go out to the country. And she goes out to the country, and she walks into this bar, and there's this guy named Jack, and so her and Jack hook up pretty much, and it's just really cute. It's not, I wouldn't say that it's all about her and Jack. It's also a coming of age story. It's very, very romantic, and it's very sweet, and it's cool to see how she kind of balances out the city country lifestyle. And I really liked it. I enjoyed reading it. I think I would I know for sure I would read it again. It would take me a little bit of time before I read it again, because like the story's still fresh in my brain, but I loved it. Loved the ending. It had all kinds of twists and turns. She gets into trouble, and you know, of course, her and Jack spend a little time together, and she does not like him at first. But it's just really cool, and it's cool to see how she can go into this different community and be accepted by these different people who have no idea who she is. So I really like that one. Now, the second book, the one by Brenda Novak, When Lightning Strikes. This one is about a woman named Gail DeMarcos, and she is in PR, meaning that she takes care of celebrity images, and she tries to make sure that celebrities are always seen in like this beautiful light. And so basically she has this client named Simon O'Neill, and Simon O'Neill gets mad at Gail, and he decides he doesn't want to work with her anymore, and it just causes her PR firm to kind of just crash into a bunch of pieces. And so she has to humble herself and go to Simon, and they basically make a deal. And that's all I know so far. All I know so far is that Simon sounds like he's really hot, and Gail sounds like my kind of woman. She's very she knows what she wants. She knows what she's doing. This is not her first time around. And I'm excited to see how it ends. Like I said, I'm still in the process of reading it. I just got into it. But I'm excited because it says, that she's reluctant to go and make this deal with Simon, but it's not too hard because he's not too hard to love. Like, not just like, but like love. I think that's really sweet. So those are my favorite books from July and August. And I love them all so much, and they are all books that I will continue to keep on my bookshelf for a very long time. Like I said, some of these have a very special place in my heart because my mom gave them to me, And yeah, so I hope you guys like this video. I hope somebody watches this video. It's okay if you don't. I still had fun making it, and that's all that matters. So I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.